everyone, a very good evening. You're watching the news tonight on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. Day after Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the country's longest road tunnel in Kashmir, Pakistan violates the ceasefire along the line of control. Heavy mortar shelling triggers panic. Finance ministers from 7 South Asian countries unveil vision document for economic growth. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley says enhanced cooperation will sustain sub-regional growth in the region. Colourful shows, competitive events mark the occasion of the 65th Rajya Sabha Day. Upper House of Parliament was first constituted on 3rd of April 1952. Explosions in 2 train carriages at metro stations in St. Petersburg. At least 10 people killed, 50 injured. Investigators say they are considering all possibilities, including terrorism, as the reason behind the blast. And torrential rains caused 3 rivers to overflow, sending torrents of mud into Macua in southwest Colombia. 254 people killed in devastating mudslides, many reported missing. Well, Kashmir remained tense as Pakistan violated the ceasefire in the valley today. This comes just a day after a Jawan was killed in a grenade attack in Srinagar. Pakistani forces began indiscriminate firing at the Indian posts along the line of control in Poonch sector in the 4th such transgression in Poonch sector this month. Pakistan violated the ceasefire along the line of control in Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir on Monday. Pakistani army initiated indiscriminate firing with small arms, automatics and lobbed mortar shells at 9:30 a.m. on forward posts and civilian areas, prompting retaliation by the Indian army.
The Pakistan army is firing mortars, automatics and small arms and has resorted to an unprovoked, uncalled for ceasefire violation. A befitting reply is being given by the Indian army.
The heavy mortar shelling triggered panic among people living near the border.
पाकिस्तान से ऐसी फायरिंग कर रही है, हम बाहर नहीं निकल सकते, बहुत जोर से फायरिंग कर रही है दोनों तरफ, हमारे इंडिया के फौज भी जवाब दे रहे हैं.
In another attack, 3 CRPF personnel have been injured in firing on their convoy near Pathan Chowk area.
Companies were coming from Jammu to Srinagar for election duties, and these vehicles were fired upon by some militants at Sampura. This is the sensitive time otherwise, because during election separatists have given the boycott call, and militants have also stepped up their activity. So we all are on high alert.
The ceasefire violation comes a day after a police Jawan, Constable Shamsuddin, was killed in a grenade attack on Sunday evening in Nauhata area of Srinagar. 15 Jawans, including police and CRPF personnel, were injured in the attack. The attack comes on a day when Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the state to inaugurate the Nashri Chennani tunnel on the Jammu-Srinagar highway.
समय पर इस प्रकार के तो प्रमाण उपलब्ध होते रहे हैं कि पाकिस्तान और इस्लामाबाद की सरकार भारत की धरती पर और विशेषकर जम्मू कश्मीर में होने वाले आतंकवाद को बढ़ावा भी देता है, प्रोत्साहन भी देता है. मैं मात्र ये कहूँगा कि जैसे 2 ही रोज पहले आदरणीय गृह मंत्री श्री राजनाथ सिंह जी ने कहा था कि सीमा पर यदि कोई उल्लंघन होता है तो वहाँ के अर्धसेना बलों को, सेनाओं को ये स्वतंत्रता दी गई है कि वो मौके पर जो उचित कार्रवाई समझें वो करें.
In a major crackdown, the Jammu and Kashmir police seized 14 mobile phones from a jail in Baramulla district of Kashmir. The mobile phones were allegedly used by inmates to communicate with Pakistan contacts via WhatsApp.
मोबाइल मिले हैं, ये सही है और उस पर FIR दी गई है और हमारी साइबर फोरेंसिक जो टीम है उसको एग्जामिन कर रही है.
Just 4 days back, Home Minister Rajnath Singh had said in Parliament that Pakistan is using social media to incite youth and foment terror in the Kashmir Valley. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television. Well, police arrested an army Jawan from the Srinagar airport today after 2 grenades were recovered from him during search at the main gate of the airport. Bhupal Mukhya of the 17 Jammu and Kashmir Rifles, who is posted at Uri, was travelling to Delhi when he was taken into custody with 2 hand grenades in his possession. Director General of Police SP Ved said that the Jawan was being questioned and will face addition according to the law.
एक आर्मी का जवान पकड़ा गया है 2 लाइव ग्रेनेड्स लेकर, उस बारे में क्या अपडेट है?
हाँ, वो सही है, उसके खिलाफ एफआईआर दी गई है और उसको देखा जा रहा है, कानूनी कार्रवाई की जाएगी.
Meanwhile, on Sunday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi dedicated the country's longest tunnel to the nation. The Chinnani-Nashri tunnel on Jammu-Srinagar National Highway covers over 9 kilometers. Later in Udhampur, the Prime Minister appealed to the youth of Kashmir to assist the state government in transforming Jammu and Kashmir.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the country's longest road tunnel linking the Kashmir Valley with Jammu on Sunday. The all-weather Chinnani-Nashri tunnel on Jammu-Srinagar National Highway covers 9.2 kilometers connecting Chinnani in Udhampur district with Nashri in Ramban district. It cuts distance between Jammu and Kashmir by 30 kilometers and travel time by 2 hours to save fuel worth 27 lakh rupees per day. Located at an altitude of nearly 4,000 feet, the tunnel is built in a record time of 5.5 years at a cost of 3,720 crore rupees.
ये टनल के कारण रोज 27 लाख रुपए का तेल बचने वाला है. इस टनल के कारण जो प्रवास है वो 2 घंटे से कम होने वाला है. पूरे इसमें हम जम्मू कश्मीर में 13 टनल बना रहे हैं और मुझे खुशी है कि इस रोड पर के अभी 5 टनल पूरी हुई है.
कि आज जिस टनल का उन्होंने आगाज किया है, इससे न सिर्फ हमारा सफर कम होगा बल्कि हमारे लोगों की दूरियां भी काफी हद तक दूर हो जाएंगी.
Later, addressing a public meeting in Udhampur, the Prime Minister said 40 years of bloodshed in Jammu and Kashmir has not benefited anyone. In a veiled attack against Pakistan, he said the neighbor hasn't been able to take care of itself, while appealing to the Kashmiri youth to choose between terrorism and tourism.
एक तरफ कुछ भटके हुए नौजवान पत्थर मारने में लगे हैं, दूसरी तरफ उसी कश्मीर के नौजवान पत्थर काट करके कश्मीर का भाग्य बनाने में लगे हैं. मैं घाटी के नौजवानों से कहना चाहता हूं, आपके सामने 2 रास्ते हैं जो आपके भाग्य को किस दिशा में ले जाएंगे. एक तरफ है टूरिज्म, दूसरी तरफ है टेररिज्म. हम सीमा पार के हमारे कश्मीर के हिस्से के नागरिकों को भी प्रगति करके दिखाना चाहते हैं कि देखिए कश्मीर कैसे विकसित होता है और जिन लोगों ने आप पर कब्जा जमा के बैठे हैं उन्होंने आपको कितना बर्बाद किया है, ये हम करके दिखाने वाले हैं.
Meanwhile, former Chief Minister and National Conference President Farooq Abdullah said while economic and infrastructural development was essential, the state will suffer unless a political initiative to resolve Kashmir issue was taken by the centre. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, finance ministers from 7 member countries of the South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation Programme unveiled a vision document in the national capital on Monday. The document outlines the roadmap for economic growth and connectivity in the region. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley asserted that the collective vision will sustain sub-regional growth through enhanced cooperation. Here's a report.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley launching the South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation Vision document along with Finance Ministers of Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Maldives, Nepal and Sri Lanka. Jaitley emphasized that the enhanced SASAC engagement will empower Asia in the 21st century and all countries have pledged to improve intra-regional connectivity to boost trade and tourism. With this, the region hopes to achieve $70 billion incremental GDP and 20 million jobs by 2025.
The SASAC vision, complemented by the operational plan, would help the member countries overcome the problems and challenges associated with unemployment, macroeconomic and structural vulnerabilities, access and integration, and limited investment and growth.
Myanmar joined the SASAC program as its newest and 7th member and was officially welcomed on Monday. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said Myanmar's inclusion will play a key role in linking South Asia with Southeast and East Asia.
Our policy will definitely receive a fillip with Myanmar's participation in CESEX, improved access to gateway ports, particularly in Bangladesh and Myanmar, may help to unleash the latent potential of the agro and forest-based industries.
The South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation Program was set up in 2001 with 4 countries of South Asia, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India and Nepal. Since then, SASEC countries have expanded and implemented 46 regional projects worth over $9 billion in energy, transport, trade facilitation and economic corridors. The Asian Development Bank serves as the secretariat for the SASEC member countries. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, just 3 weeks before the municipal election in Delhi, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal called for its postponement so that voting can be held using ballot papers. The State Election Commission has said municipal polls will be held on the 23rd of April. Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal rejected Kejriwal's demand, citing time constraints to effect any change in the mode of polling. Kejriwal made the demand right after the Punjab state poll results were announced, alleging that poll authorities in Punjab had refused to accept its demand to tally results with paper trail audit. The Election Commission had earlier hit out at Kejriwal and asked him to introspect on the party's performance and said that the only alternative for verification of the results was to file a petition before the High Court. It reiterated that EVMs are tamper-proof. Congress and other political parties had also raised concerns over the issue of EVM tampering in the recently concluded assembly elections in 5 states. BJP has dismissed such allegations. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has decided to replace over 9,30,000 EVM machines bought before 2006. These machines are likely to be purchased before 2018.
उस लक्षण को दबा दिया, बीमारी का इलाज नहीं करा, जांच नहीं करी कि क्या ईवीएम के सॉफ्टवेयर से छेड़छाड़ हुई है, क्या ईवीएम के हार्डवेयर से छेड़छाड़ हुई है, किसने छेड़छाड़ करी है और ऐसा क्यों है कि एक ही राजनीतिक दल को लाभ इसका पहुंच रहा है जब भी छेड़छाड़ होती है।
ईवीएम जो है वो टेम्परिंग प्रूफ मेथड था, इसलिए इसको अडॉप्ट किया गया था, इसलिए इसको लिया गया था। और ऐसे में जो अरविंद जी या कांग्रेस पार्टी या कुछ लोग इस तरीके की बात कर रहे हैं, तो मैं उन्हें याद दिलाना चाहती हूँ कि अभी पंजाब में जो है इतने अच्छे बहुमत से कांग्रेस की पार्टी जीती है, तो क्या वो भी टेम्पर्ड था?
इलेक्शन कमीशन को संज्ञान तुरंत लेना चाहिए और आखिर क्यों बार बार इलेक्शन कमीशन के मांग के बावजूद और सुप्रीम कोर्ट के निर्देश के बावजूद वीवीपैट मशीन्स नहीं लगाई जा रही है, उसका भी उस पे भी कड़े कदम उठाने चाहिए।
Well, African envoys today condemned attacks on African nationals, calling them xenophobic and racial. Heads of African missions in India criticized the Indian government, saying that it took no known, sufficient and visible deterrent action to stop such attacks. Indicating their disappointment over lack of response from the Prime Minister and the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister, the envoy said that they expected a strong condemnation of the attacks at the highest political level, both nationally and locally. They also called for an independent investigation by the Human Rights Council as well as other human rights bodies, and also to comprehensively report the matter to the Commission of the African Union. 4 Nigerian students were attacked by a group of Greater Noida residents who took out a candlelight march on March 26th after a 17-year-old boy, Manish, died due to suspected drug overdose. Well, the protest by Tamil Nadu farmers seeking a drought relief package from the centre entered its 22nd day on Monday. The farmers have been protesting at Jantar Mantar since March 14th. They want the centre to announce a drought relief package of 40,000 crore rupees and better support price for their produce. The protesters also urged the government to waive off farmer loans. Farmers from other states have also joined the protest now. Leaders from Tamil Nadu, cutting across political spectrum, have offered their support to the state's farmers. Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha M. Thambidurai met the farmers and assured them of all possible help.
We demanded 45,000 crores. We received only 1,700 crores only. Therefore, these farmers are demanding for that. That also I am going to take up the issue and see that this will be solved.
किसान को कर्ज मुक्त किया जाए, किसानों को जो उसकी जिन्स है उसके सही दाम दिए जाएं, स्वामीनाथन कमीशन है जो उसकी रिपोर्ट लागू की जाए।
The state government demanded drought relief from the central government. They have demanded 21,708 crores for withered crop. So the central government not even give a single paise for that.
Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Uninterrupted power supply still remains a far cry.
The central government is only a policy making body. It's the states which have to invest in their power infrastructure.
What about the hydropower? We see that is untapped as compared to wind and solar.
Unless you resolve the past legacy, no new investor is going to come in and put good money.
Yogi Adityanath, his anointment is leading to some kind of a social isolation, especially the Muslims.
A lot of Muslim women are very happy that there will be peace and security on the streets.
Watch to the point with Minister of State for Coal, Power, New and Renewable Energy, Piyush Goyal, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, Parliament celebrated the 65th Rajya Sabha Day today. The upper house was first constituted on the 3rd of April 1952 on the basis of seats assigned to various states as shown in the 4th schedule to the constitution. Competitive events including essay writing and painting were organized for school children on the occasion at the Rajya Sabha premises today. Winners of the event will be awarded on April 18th. Puppet and magic shows were also organized for Rajya Sabha employees and their families.
Upper House had its first sitting on 3rd April 1952. Since that day, every year on 3rd April, we celebrate Rajya Sabha Day to make the day memorable.
Well, ahead of the Delhi civic poll, senior Congress leader A.K. Walia threatened to quit the party over distribution of tickets. This was after former Congress MLA Amrish Singh Gautam joined the BJP after expressing displeasure over the ticket distribution. Amrish Singh Gautam joined the BJP with his son Avinash Gautam on Monday. The three-time MLA has represented Kondli and erstwhile Patparganj assembly seats. He was also Deputy Speaker of the Delhi Assembly. Former Delhi Health Minister Walia alleged that the party was ignoring ground efforts by party workers and fielding outsiders in his area in the Municipal Corporation of Delhi elections. Congress leader Harun Yusuf also expressed his displeasure. Walia, who held several major portfolios in the Sheila Dikshit government in Delhi, commands massive support in East Delhi. The Congress has so far announced names of 267 candidates for the civic polls.
पहले कभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ था. हमारी पार्टी में ये डेमोक्रेटिक सिस्टम रहा है हमेशा. परंतु कुछ लोग इस बात को ये समझ रहे हैं कि उनके हाथ में इतनी पावर आ गई है कि वो जो भी करेंगे वो सही है. ये सिस्टम गलत है.
बीजेपी में शामिल होने का कारण यह रहा कि नगर निगम के चुनाव में जो लोग जीतने वाले थे, जिन्होंने काम किया था पार्टी के लिए, उनको इग्नोर किया गया. वहां के मतदाताओं की उपेक्षा की गई.
कांग्रेस में जिस तरह से चल रहा है, कांग्रेस पूरी तरह से समाप्त हो रही है. कांग्रेस में जिस तरह से केवल एक परिवार है, उस परिवार के अलावा कुछ नहीं है. तो लोगों में एक बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेशन है और उस फ्रस्ट्रेशन के कारण से जिस तरह की एक व्यक्ति की राजनीतिक डिक्टेटरशिप है कांग्रेस के अंदर, उसका ये परिणाम है कि लोग कांग्रेस छोड़ करके बड़ी संख्या में जा रहे हैं.
Well, the Supreme Court today told the CBI to submit a report detailing the status of probe in the Aircel Maxis case and the charges facing former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram in the case. The Apex Court has fixed the matter for further hearing on May 2nd. The ED filed a status report in a sealed cover to a Supreme Court bench of Chief Justice J.S. Keher and Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, stating the alleged role of former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram and his son Karti in the Aircel Maxis case. During the brief hearing, BJP leader Subramanian Swamy told the bench that he had received a reply from the CBI stating that it was probing all angles, including the Foreign Investment Promotion Board clearance given to the deal allegedly by then Finance Minister P. Chidambaram in 2006. In February this year, the Supreme Court had asked BJP leader Subramanian Swamy to place before it concrete evidence backing his plea for probe into Chidambaram's role into alleged breach of norms. Well, in a setback to Himachal Chief Minister Veerbhadra Singh in the ongoing money laundering probe, the Enforcement Directorate seized a farmhouse in Delhi belonging to him. The farmhouse, valued at around 27 crore rupees, was purchased by Maple, a firm owned by Singh's son, for 6.61 crore rupees. The director claimed that the market price of the farmhouse was shown to be 1 crore rupees while 5.47 crore rupees was paid in cash. The ED also said that its investigation revealed that black money was used to buy the farmhouse. The move comes just days after the CBI filed a charge sheet against Singh, accusing him of accumulating disproportionate assets during the time he served as a union minister in the UPA regime.
Regarding this is a political vendetta. I was judged before terror. I have never judged before terror.
Visiting Omani Foreign Minister Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah met Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi today. He also met Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari. Earlier in the day, Abdullah held a delegation-level talk with his Indian counterpart Sushma Swaraj. The two ministers discussed bilateral and regional issues in the meeting. Oman-India trade exceeded $3.86 billion in 2015-16. There are around 7 lakhs expatriate Indians in Oman. Let's look at what else is making news across the country and nationwide. A former Salwa Judum member was allegedly killed by Naxals in Chhattisgarh's Bijapur district today. Naxals pumped bullets into him and also stabbed him with sharp-edged weapons. Police rushed to the spot and a manhunt has been launched to nab the attackers. The Supreme Court today refused to accord urgent hearing on a plea over banning tainted politicians from contesting polls. The court further said that it is a very serious issue and a bench would be set up, adding that it will not take more than 3 days in concluding the hearing. Sri Lankan Navy on Sunday arrested 6 Indians who were allegedly trying to smuggle 13.5 kilograms of heroin into the country. According to a statement by the Lankan Navy, the suspected boat movement was continuously monitored by the patrolling ship and the suspects were disguised as fishermen. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj has said that Iran has released 15 Indian fishermen who were detained with their Bahraini boats last year. In a series of tweets, she thanked the Indian Embassy in Tehran, appreciating their good work for facilitating the release. It's time for a short break now, but we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Chopper is the ancient version of Indian snakes and ladders. This intriguing game was popular among the old, the young, and the rulers as well. The chopper has its origin in the Jain philosophy. It tells the story of virtue, symbolized by the ladders, rewarded, while the vices shown by the snakes are punished. Each square, in turn, also narrates some message of wisdom.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Close to 10 people were killed in an explosion between 2 underground train stations in St. Petersburg. 50 others were injured in the attack. Russia's National Anti-Terrorist Committee said an unidentified explosive device went off on a train that was traveling between 2 stations around 2:40 p.m. local time and ripped through the carriage. The entire St. Petersburg underground network was shut down and extra security measures put in place. Russian President Vladimir Putin, who is in his hometown of St. Petersburg for talks with the President of Belarus, offered his condolences to the families of those killed. Putin said all causes, including terrorism, were being investigated. Meanwhile, at least 254 people are dead in devastating mudslides in Macua in southwest Colombia. This after an unusual amount of rain swept the area on Friday. The rescuers are looking for missing people and identifying the bodies, and the death toll is expected to go up. With the climate change being labelled as reason behind the disaster, locals say this was a tragedy waiting to happen.
A search is underway for people missing in Friday's torrential rains in southern Colombia that caused 3 rivers surrounding Macua to overflow, sending a torrent of mud into the city. At least 254 people were killed and many more injured and homeless. A state of emergency has been declared. President Juan Manuel Santos made a television address to the nation on Sunday night after a second visit to the area.
Sé que los seres queridos que se fueron son irreemplazables. Sé que el dolor los acompañará para siempre. Pero es posible mitigarlo. Es posible recuperarse. Es posible superar la tragedia.
Police and volunteers joined together to identify the victims. The government has announced a relief of about $6,400 each to the families of the dead and said their hospital and funeral costs will be covered.
Es muy doloroso cuando llegan los familiares y se encuentran ya con sus seres queridos en esa situación. Duele como verlos y desafortunadamente pues creo que nos falta como un poquito más de apoyo. Estamos como solo aquí, está presente siempre el cuerpo de bomberos, pero nos falta mucho apoyo.
People in the Colombian capital of Bogota were also seen donating relief supplies to those affected.
Las condiciones que en este momento hay en el área son demasiado desoladoras porque se siente demasiado la angustia, incluso sin las personas que estamos aquí no estamos aquí, o sea, no estamos allá.
President Santos previously blamed climate change for the disaster, saying Mocoa received 1/3 of its usual monthly rain in just one night, causing the rivers to burst their banks. His critics, however, say this was a tragedy that could have been avoided. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, here's a roundup of the other international news on Global Buzz. Former Nepal Prime Minister Baburam Bhattarai and several other leaders were arrested during a protest outside the Election Commission office in Kathmandu on Sunday. They were protesting against a new provision that bars them from contesting local polls on their respective party symbols. Bob Dylan finally accepted the 2016 Nobel Peace Prize for Literature more than 3 months after the awards ceremony. He received the award at a private gathering in Stockholm on Sunday. He is the first singer-songwriter to receive the prestigious award. Dylan has until June 10th to provide the traditional lecture, which is the only requirement to receive the 8 million kroner that comes with the prize. Failing that, he risks losing the prize money. US President Donald Trump has said that the United States will solve the nuclear threat from North Korea with or without China's help. Trump was speaking ahead of a scheduled visit from Chinese President Xi Jinping this week. Trump's comment is the latest in a series of warnings over North Korea's nuclear development. Let's now leave you with the images of the Dalai Lama having an emotional reunion in Guwahati with one of the 5 Assam Rifle Guards who escorted him to India during his escape from Tibet in March 1959. Goodbye.